Okay, guys, so today we are going to be in the Webull platform and we are going to be looking at what a stock chart consists of. So this is really going to be for my newbies, my beginners who have either never seen a stock chart before or have seen one and didn't know what they were looking at. So I want to take this pretty much from, top to bottom and go over all the important key factors of the chart so that you have a better understanding of what you're looking at when you're doing your technical analysis. Now, if you haven't seen any of my previous videos, I do go over, what technical analysis is. I also will be probably using some key terms in this video that I've used in previous videos, like bullish and bearish, things of that nature. So if you haven't seen those previous videos, I suggest you go back and watch those and then come back and watch this video once you're done so that you have a full picture of what's going on. So we are going to essentially start here at the top of the chart. Actually, let me get to the right. This is Webull and all its various screens, which we're not going to go over today. But I wanted to get a blank layout for you so that you would be able to start from scratch and kind of, follow along here. So this is pretty much a blank chart. This is a candlestick line or pattern that we're using, but this can also be changed if we wanted to like a line chart. And all I'm doing is right clicking on the chart and I'm choosing line style. And there's options here that you can choose. For the majority of the time I've been trading, I've been using candlesticks. That's how I started. That's what I learned on, and that's what the majority of your traders are going to use to identify price action on the chart. So let's start at the top here. We're going to start at the very top left corner where you see it. We're looking at a SPY chart. And SPY is essentially the ticker symbol for the ETF that follows the S&P 500. Now, we talked about the S&P 500 in previous videos. So again, if you don't know what that is, go back and, watch the previous videos for more information on that. But it is one of the major indices that we use to kind of follow the stock market. So the SPY, what you'll see at the top is the ticker symbol. And next to that, you're going to see the current price. You're going to see how much it has increased for today. So it's up $4.75. And then you're going to see that same number in a percentage. So it's up about 1.2% more than it was up yesterday. Now, this red section here is for the after hours or after market activity. Now, keep in mind that your trading hours, your normal trading hours, are from 9:30 to 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. However, Webull does allow you to trade in pre-market hours and after-market hours. So you are able to trade as early as 4 a.m. and you're able to trade as late as 8 p.m. But the hours are going to be pre-market 4 a.m. to 9:30 when the actual market opens. And then your after-market hours are going to be from 4 o'clock when the market closes to 8 p.m., which is your aftermarket hours. So this activity aftermarket is telling us that it dropped about a quarter after hours, so after 4 o'clock, and that equates to about a 0.06% decrease. So this is going to be your activity for the day, and this is going to be your activity after hours. Okay. So let's move a little further down. Like down here, you're going to see that there are some things you can click on. This is going to allow you to add indicators to the chart, make certain drawings on the chart like trend lines, support and resistance, which we'll get more into as we do more charting videos. This also will allow you to change the line style as well. The same way we changed it by right-clicking, we can also change it here. We can use hollow candles. There's different methods that people like to use in order to detect price action, but candlesticks are going to be your most popular one. Over here, these things we're not going to worry about right now because they're a little bit more advanced. And so we're going to leave it on indicators for now. Some of these indicators up here are indicators that I would use on a regular basis. That's why they're up here. MA stands for moving average. BOLL is for Bollinger Bands. VWAP is about price action. You have your MACD, your RSI, your volume, but we're not going to go into indicators today. There'll be a whole separate video on indicators and how we can use those to help find entry and exit points when we're getting in and out of a trade or buying or selling a stock. Okay, so a little further down, we'll also be able to see that this is the ticker symbol. Once again, this is where we can actually enter in different ticker symbols. So say I wanted to change SPY and I wanted to see what Apple was doing. So I would type in Apple's ticker symbol, which is actually AAPL. And it also will have a drop down box, which will help you to identify if you don't exactly know what the ticker symbol is for a particular stock. If you know like the title of it or the name of the company, you can also type that in, and it will also lead you to the stock as well. So if I click there, you see how the stock, or excuse me, the chart changes. And now we have information for Apple. But we're going to go back to SPY since that's what we started with. And right now, we are on a 15-minute time frame. So I want to kind of take us from the top of the chart now to the bottom of the chart briefly here so we can talk about time frames and intervals. So essentially, depending on what type of trader or trading you're doing, if you are, say, scalping or you're day trading, you may be looking at a shorter time frame because you are trying to get in and out of your trade fairly quickly. You're looking for short, quick moves to the upside or the downside. And so you may want to be looking at a 1 minute, a 5 minute, or 15-minute chart. Now, what does that mean? Essentially, what that means is each of these candles represent on the 15-minute chart, which is what we're currently highlighted on. Each one of these candles represents 15 minutes of time. So if we're looking at, if we scroll all the way over and we look at where the day pretty much started, which remember we said the market opens at 9:30. So this would be the first candle of the day right here. And we know that because at the bottom, we can see that there's a date that correlates and a time that correlates with the candle. And that shows up down here at the bottom. So as I'm moving, you're going to see the dates change and the times change at the bottom. But this will be the first candle of the day for today. And every candle thereafter is going to be 15 minutes. So you see this is at 9:45, the first candle formed, because when does the market open? At 9:30. So we got a 9:45 candle, we got a 10 o'clock candle, a 10:15 candle, a 10:30 candle. Now these candles, they represent price action, and we're going to have another video that talks specifically about candles and what they represent, but just know that the candle is going to tell you 4 things at minimum. It's going to tell you what the price opened at, what the price closed at, the high and the low for that time frame. So there will be another video talking more in depth about candlesticks. But I just want to let you know that there are certain time frames that traders will use depending on if they're trading a shorter term or longer term. If you're looking to swing trade, you may be using the 1 hour chart or the daily chart. And when we're changing the intervals, that changes the time frames of the candles. So now we see the chart looks different because the time frames are different. Now we're on a daily chart. So that means each one of these candles represents 1 whole day of trading. So as you can see, the dates are moving a lot faster at the bottom of my chart because I'm going 1 day at a time versus 15 minutes at a time. Same thing with the hourly. On the hourly, now we're looking at each candle, and each candle represents 1 hour of time during the day. Now, another trick we can do here is we can right click and we can go to our chart settings and we can add show extended hours. And this is going to add our pre-market and our aftermarket that we mentioned. And it's going to show up in like a grayish kind of color on the chart. So now we can kind of see what happened not only during the normal trading day, but also during pre-market and after hours as well. I'm going to drop back down to a 15-minute chart. And as you can see right now, we pretty much just ended the day, the aftermarket hours. At 8 o'clock is when it ended. It's currently 8:12. So this was the last candle for the day. And so I wanted to go over a little bit of the intervals there to let you know that this can be customized. I mean, we can even do monthly. We can hit the arrow and we can select the ones that we like to have, listed at the bottom of our chart. I like to keep the 5-minute, the 15-minute, the 30-minute, the 1 hour, and I also actually like the 4 hour as well. So you can star these and they will pop up at the bottom automatically for you. But you can look out even as far as, depending on how old some of these stocks are, you can go out pretty far on the stocks. I mean, if you're looking at a 1 year, that's really going to show you each candle represents 1 year. And so obviously it's not a very large stock, but this takes us back to 1993 when this ETF was first created. And so from 1993, you've seen what the price action has done, which is, it's amazing to see. So we'll go back to our daily chart. And the next thing we want to look at is the bars down here and what they represent. This is actually going to be your volume. So this is going to be how much, how many buyers and sellers are in the market currently that are participating in buying and selling this particular ETF. And depending on, if there's more buyers or sellers, it's going to be if it's red or green. We're not going to go into the details of any of that now, but I wanted to let you know that what that represents, and that represents volume. And we like volume. Volume is good when you're trading because it allows you to be able to get in and out of a stock quickly if you're trading. If there's no one to buy or sell to, then it's going to be harder for you to get out, get your orders filled and all of that. So down here is going to be volume. You'll also see things like, you'll see this D in the circle. This is going to let you know that this pays a dividend, and it lets you know when it pays that dividend. So it looks like the last dividend that it paid out was on December 16th, 2022. So that's another nice thing to have on the chart, just to let you know when dividends are coming. Sometimes dividends will, before they come, people will start to enter into the stock or the ETF because they're trying to take advantage of the dividend. But it depends on when you get in as to if you're eligible to actually even receive it. So you got to be careful with that. All right. So another thing we want to look at is the numbers that are moving up here. So as I hover over a candlestick, it's letting you know what the price action is within that candlestick. And as I hover over another one, you can see the numbers are going to change. But let's say I'm staying right here. This is July 19th, 2022. And you're going to see at the top that it says O. It has an O, it has an H, it has an L, it has a C. And those are the 4 things that I mentioned that the candlesticks are going to hold as far as information. O stands for open, H stands for high, L stands for low, and C stands for close. So I can safely say that for this particular candlestick, and this is on the daily chart, as if we look down here, we're on the daily chart, for the day, I can say that the SPY opened at $382.74. It reached a low of $382.06. It reached a high of $389.47, and it closed at $388.88. The reason why it's green is because it closed higher than it opened. Remember, we said it opened at 382.74. So 388.88 is higher than the 382.74. It also lets me know what the volume is. If I look a little further over here, right here, it'll let me know what the volume that was traded for that day. And it looks like it was a 78 million and a half, over 78.5 million traded shares that day. So that information is very useful, very key, and you'll find out why, in future videos. But that's what that all those numbers mean. It's not really complicated once you understand that it's just really giving you the information for each candle. Okay. Now we talked about down here is your dates and everything like that. You can also even do a range. So if you wanted to look at the daily chart, but you wanted to look at it just year to date, you can do that and you see it changes. It makes it kind of zoomed in on us, but we can zoom out. I'm just zooming out by using my mouse and kind of like going backwards on the middle button on the mouse. And so this will be year to date daily. If we wanted to go the 5 years out and have a daily chart, or this, I'm sorry, this is weekly. We can go daily, 5 years, and see what the price action looks like there, what kind of trends is it in, et cetera, et cetera. So there's also a range in addition to the intervals. You can also just leave it at max, and that's going to give it to you from the beginning of inception all the way to now. So there's various ways you can do this. On your right-hand side, you're going to see price. You're going to see prices, I should say. And so you're literally where you see this green box is where your current price is. And we can also see that that's the same price that we looked at the very top left corner. It's $400.63. That's the price that the SPY ended at today at 4 o'clock when the market closed. Now it's currently at $400.38 because after market it dropped a little bit. There was some trading done and it dropped a bit, but you're not going to see that on this chart. Now let me go back and okay, so we're good there. Now looking at this is going to be in intervals depending on the price of the stock. You'll see various intervals here. Right now it looks like this is in like $5 or $6 intervals. No rhyme or reason for that, but depending on the price of the stock, it could be in $5 intervals. You could see it in dollar intervals. It just really depends. But depending on the time frame, you can also see it in different intervals because as you can see, this breaks it down into like including the cents. So it's a little bit different. But it's going to be your price, and then the bottom part is going to be your time. So when we're looking at this and when we're making decisions, we want to basically take a look at what happened in the past so we can kind of determine what may happen in the future. But I wanted to keep this video short and sweet just to give you an overall view of what the charts look like on Webull. If you're on TD Ameritrade or Robinhood's charts aren't very, very good. So I don't recommend Robinhood. But if you're on like Thinkorswim or TD Ameritrade, they'll look something similar to this, the candlesticks and the volume and everything like that. But we will have another video where we start to talk about support and resistance and trend lines and how to add indicators onto the chart so that we can kind of determine where we want to enter and exit a trade. So I hope this video was helpful. Please leave any questions you may have in the comments, anything that you need me to address or anything that you may not have understood. I'll be happy to answer them for you. And until the next video, I hope you all have a great rest of your day.